Jaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminithi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandegam Sri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namusute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namagam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Isvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Hare Krishna. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. We finished 3 slokas in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the universal form, that is Viswarupa. So Krishna is teaching us, because Arjuna is going to ask Krishna to show his universal form. That's what we are studying. Now Arjuna is actually talking. So in the 10th chapter, we have very clearly understood about Krishna's vibhuti. That means Krishna's opulence. So starting from the 7th chapter onwards, Krishna is revealing more knowledge about himself. And Arjuna is also asking Krishna to reveal even more. Already in the 7th chapter, Krishna, even without Arjuna himself asking much, Krishna said very nicely, very clearly about himself actually. One thing we understood in the 7th chapter, Krishna said, the 3 modes of material nature, they are in me, but I am not in them. So they are coming from me. That's what Krishna said. Echaiva satvika bhava rajasa tamasaschaye matta eva iti tan viddhi natvaham teshu te mayi. So I am not in them, but they are in me. That's what Krishna says. So the 3 modes of material nature. The mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sattva, Raja, and Tamo gunas. And we need to understand this entire material world itself is created by the 3 modes of material nature. Our body is also created by the 3 modes of material nature. When our body itself is created by the 3 modes of material nature, all the activities are also carried out by the 3 modes of material nature. We need to understand. It's not very hard to understand. It's very easy. When we understand that our body itself is created by the 3 modes of material nature, and the soul itself is caged inside, put inside, locked inside this body by the 3 modes of material nature. So then the activities are also carried out by the 3 modes of material nature. But due to ahankara, we think that we are doing the activities. That's why we are suffering. The only reason for our suffering in this material world, because we have that false ego, ahankara. So before we leave this world, we should also give up this ahankara, false ego, before we die. Because death is certain for everyone. Everyone is going to die. There is no doubt about it. It's going to come. We don't know when. For each one different, but everyone is going to die. That is the main thing. But before death comes, before we leave this body, if you are able to give up this ahankara, this false ego, then we won't be forced into another body, another material body. We will not be forced. We won't be forced into another body. So that is the knowledge we are getting from Bhagavad Gita. So that means the time is now for us to act. We have to act now. Because we are forced to act, by the material modes of nature. In order to relieve ourselves from that force, we need to act now. That means we need to give up this ahankara, false ego. And how we can give up this ahankara, false ego? Only if we have the knowledge, only if we are able to think in each and every activity. Not only in our own activity, but also in everyone else's activities. If we are able to see all the activities are carried out by only the three modes of nature, nothing else. Only the three modes of material nature are doing all the activities. If we are able to see that, if we are able to feel that, then at that moment we will be freed from the modes of nature. Nanyam gunebhyah kartaram yatha drashtanu pasyati. Drashtanu pasyati means one who is seeing, one who is able to see that nothing other than only the three modes of material nature are doing everything. That's why na anyam gunebhyah kartaram yatha drashtanu pasyati gunebhyascha param veti. So they will be able to transcend the three modes of material nature. That means they are freed. They are freed from the three modes of material nature. Gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sodhikachati. They attain my nature. That's what madbhavam sodhikachati. They will attain my nature. Krishna is saying that. So nanyam gunebhyah kartaram yatha drashran pasyati gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sodhikachati. And that is possible when we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any doubt. Mattaga parataram na anyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is nothing else is superior to me. There is nothing which is superior to me. When we understand this fact, then if we develop love towards that Supreme Krishna, who is there in everyone's heart, who is there everywhere, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, if we are able to love Him, if we are able to serve Him, if we are able to always think of Him, think about Him, so then our mind will be completely filled with Krishna consciousness. So at that point of time, we will be able to clearly see that we are not doing anything, only the three modes of material nature are doing everything. Because Krishna is giving us this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. With the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we understand everything very clearly. Without Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we are just fools. We don't know anything. People just think that they know a lot. But if they don't know Bhagavad Gita, they don't know anything. Because Bhagavad Gita is the king of knowledge. It is Raja Vidya. Krishna says Bhagavad Gita is the king of knowledge. And also it's the most confidential knowledge. Raja Guhyam also. It's not only Raja Vidya, but it is also Raja Guhyam. It is the king of knowledge, but it is also the most confidential knowledge, and it is the purest knowledge, Pavitra. So we are very fortunate that we are able to study this Bhagavad Gita, which is the king of knowledge, which is the purest knowledge, which is the most confidential knowledge. We are getting this knowledge by Krishna's causeless mercy. So, our goal is just to understand this Bhagavad Gita fully. Then there is no doubt that we will be able to follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, because once we have the knowledge, we are not going to sit idle. Definitely, we are going to use this knowledge. Once we have this complete knowledge, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that means everything is bright. When everything is bright, we won't go and fall ourselves into a ditch. So, in this material world, everywhere there are dangers. Everywhere there are problems. But if it is completely dark, then we cannot put a step forward. We cannot put a step backward either. We cannot do anything. We will be simply suffering, struggling. We don't know what to do. But if everything is bright, then we know which direction to go, what to do, and all such things. So without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, our life is full of darkness. We have no idea, we have no clue, we have no understanding about what we should do without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. You can see everywhere, everyone is just acting under the control of the three modes of material nature, running here and there and doing all kinds of things, and everything just like a robot, like somebody is keying in and just doing it. That's it. So by the three modes of material nature, that's it. So we are controlled, we are acting, we are forced by the three modes of material nature. So that's why in this material world, people are simply doing all kinds of activities every day, completely controlled by the three modes of material nature. Only a devotee of Krishna who understands this Bhagavad Gita, who knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who knows that we are not the body, we are the soul, and we are controlled by the three modes of material nature, only he can see that. And once we see that, once we have this knowledge, so that means we are not going to get ourselves attached or attracted to the material sense objects. Because we don't want to be controlled by the three modes of material nature all the time. The problem is, in this material world, there is nothing to gain. And whatever we gain, we are going to lose. That's what we need to understand. We cannot simply think that, oh, this person is so rich, he has gained so much. No. Or this person is poor, he doesn't have anything. No. Everyone is going to lose everything. Everyone is going to lose everything in this material world. Nothing is going to be with us forever. When death comes, it doesn't matter whether that person is very rich or very poor. When death comes, it's just going to be taken away completely. Everything will be just taken away. We are going to lose everything. Ultimately, we will be the big loser only at the time of death. But with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we realize that we are the soul, and if we do everything which is good for ourselves, for the soul, that is to get free from the three modes of material nature. So that means to lose the ahankara. That is the only thing we should be losing in our life. So we should gain Krishna consciousness in this life, which we are not going to lose. We should gain love towards Krishna, which we are never going to lose. Other than that, if we get anything material, anything, whatever we gain, everything we are going to lose. Nothing is going to stay permanently with us. But we need to lose this ahankara, this false ego that we need to lose. And that's all very much possible with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. There is no doubt, because Krishna is revealing this knowledge to us, because we are Krishna's devotees, because we are Krishna's friends. And Krishna is so much merciful upon us, so that we are able to study each and every sloka and understand it completely. Every day we are able to study Bhagavad Gita. We are able to understand all the slokas step by step, sloka by sloka. We are able to progress, and we are developing our love towards Krishna with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. There is no doubt about it, because we understand, we have no doubt that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We completely believe in Krishna. That one qualification is enough for us to get rid of this material world. Just believing in Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. He is the Purushottama. He is the Parameswara. He is the Maheswara. He is the Yogeshwara. So that's what is Krishna. He is the Paramatma. So Krishna is the Paramatma. Ubadrishta Anumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheswaraga Paramatme iti Chayuktaha Degesmin Bharatashava. Paramatme iti Chayuktaha. So I am called as Paramatma. That's what Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, that I am called as Paramatma. Paramatme iti Chayuktaha. Bhuktanam yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram sugurdam sarvabhutanam nyatva santim richati. Anyone who simply understands that I am the enjoyer of all offerings, I am the enjoyer of all austerities, and I am the controller of all the worlds, sarvaloka maheswaram, and I am the well-wisher of every being, sugurdam sarvabhutanam. Just by knowing this, they will attain everlasting peace. Nyatva santim richati. That's what we want. We don't want anything else in this material world. We want peace of mind. We want happiness. Our mind should be with us. Our mind should be controlled. Our mind should be thinking, remembering all the time only Krishna. It should not be agitated. It should not be disturbed. Because as Arjuna says that mind is very restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva suduskaram. Because it's very difficult to control the mind. Mind is very restless. But constant practice is going to make our mind our best friend. We will be able to control our mind. So that means our mind is going to remember Krishna all the time. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's the only thing. We should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. For that great opportunity Krishna has given to all of us. There are so many devotees in this world. They are waiting to listen to Bhagavad Gita, waiting to study Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita. So that means our job is very all set. We know what to do. We just have to spread this message, Krishna's message. Give this knowledge to everyone and make Krishna's devotees. Because that way everyone can actually get out of this material world. That way no one need to come back again to this material world. The devotees need not come back to this material world. So that way Krishna is guaranteeing. Krishna is saying that there is no doubt that you will come to me. There is no doubt. Mam evaisasi asamsayaga. You will come to me. There is no doubt about it. So in Bhagavad Gita, we are getting so much of knowledge which we cannot find anywhere else. Because of that, we just have to study and read only Bhagavad Gita only, nothing else. Because in Bhagavad Gita, all the knowledge what we need is everything available in Bhagavad Gita. Everything is given by Krishna very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. So that way, if we are able to get ourselves attached to Krishna and remember Krishna and serve Krishna and all the time live in Krishna consciousness, so then our life will be very much designed and planned by Krishna. Because when we submit ourselves to Krishna and we let Krishna to take care of our life, so then Krishna will be able to nicely plan and Krishna will engage us in his service so that we can get rid of this material world. So that's the only thing we need to do. We need to just submit ourselves unto Krishna. That's it. Surrender unto Krishna, submit ourselves unto Krishna. The rest, Krishna will take care. Just get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's the only knowledge we need. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge. With Bhagavad Gita knowledge, any other knowledge what we need, Krishna will give it to us. But to get Bhagavad Gita knowledge, Krishna is ready to give it to us, but we should be ready to listen to Krishna. That is the main thing. So, only to read and understand Bhagavad Gita, we need to put efforts. We need to have that faith on Krishna. We should believe in Krishna. And once we believe in Krishna, and then once we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and once we act as per Krishna's instructions given in Bhagavad Gita, then all the rest Krishna will give it to us. Whatever we need, any other knowledge we need, on our work or or whatever we do in our daily life, and everything Krishna will actually provide. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I will give it. And when Krishna wants to give it, who can stop it? When Krishna wants to serve us, who can stop Krishna in serving us? We should let Krishna to serve us. That's very important. So when we become Krishna's servant, then Krishna is going to serve us. So we should let Krishna to serve us so that we can simply, only peacefully remember only Krishna all the time. So that's what we need to do. That's the only job we should be doing. The job we should be doing is only remembering Krishna, thinking about Krishna, doing all the things for Krishna. Ananya chetaga satatam yomam smaratti nityasaga tasyagam sulabhaga partha nitya yuktasya yogi. Now to understand about Krishna's universal form also, because Arjuna in the 10th chapter, when he asked about the Vibhuti Yoga, Krishna gave so much of knowledge, we understood. Krishna said that I am everything. So Krishna also said that I am everything which are going to be generated in future also. Yadyat vibhuti matsatvam srimadurjitam yevava taddadeva vakachatvam mama tejamsa sambhavam. So anything in future you see which is great, you understand that it is coming from me. That's what Krishna says. Anything which you are seeing great right now, that has also come from me. So everything comes from Krishna. Everything emanates from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate. Atava bahunaitena kimnyatena tavarjuna vishrabhyagamidam kritstam yekam sena sthito jagat. What need is there, Arjuna, for you to know all these things? Just with a single fragment of my energy, I pervade this entire universe. That's what Krishna says. So then in the 11th chapter, we studied 3 slokas already. And Arjuna told Krishna in the first sloka that Arjuna uvacha madanugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samjitam yatvayoktam vachaga vachas tena mogoyam vigato mama. So to show your mercy upon me, madanugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samjitam, you spoke this supreme secret. So I understood everything. Yatvayoktam vachas tena mohoyam vigato mama. So whatever you said, whatever you spoke, just by listening to that, my illusions are dispelled. Yena mohoyam vigato mama. Bhavapyayav bhutanam sutau vistaraso maya tvattaga kamala patraksha mahatmyam apicha avyayam. O lotus-eyed Krishna, Kamala Patraksha. Kamala Patra means lotus petals, and Aksha means eyes. So lotus-eyed Krishna. So Kamala Patraksha. So you already explained to me about in various forms how you expanded. Bhavapya Yavgi Bhutanam Srutav Vistara Somaya. So I have heard everything in detail. So now, so I have understood your inexhaustible glories. Mahatmyam apicha avyayam. Yevam yetatyada tattvam atmanam parameshvara drashtumichami te rupam aiswaram purushottama. O Parameshwara, whatever you have just now spoken to me, evam yetat yadatatvam atmanam parameshwara drashtumichami te rupam aiswaram purushottama. Drashtumichami, I want to see. Drashtumichami te rupam aiswaram. So your form, aiswaram, viswarupam, your universal form. O Purushottama, I want to see your universal form. So in the next sloka, what we are studying today in the 11th chapter, sloka number 4, Arjuna is continuing that Manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti prabho yogeshvara tato me tvam darsayatmanam avyayam manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti Prabhu. Oh Prabhu. Now we call normally Prabhu, correct? With devotees. So here Arjuna is calling Krishna as Prabhu. What is the meaning of Prabhu? Prabhu means master. So that's what, oh Prabhu. Like in English you say Sir. So that Sir, it is actually Prabhu. Prabhu. Manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti Prabhu. Oh Prabhu, oh Master, if you think, manyase means if you think that I can see, if I am able to see, chakya means able to. So if you think I am able to see, manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti Prabhu, what? Your universal form. So if your universal form, if you think I am able to see, Yogeshwara, you please, tato me tvam darsaya atmanam avyayam. So you please show me your universal form. That's what Arjuna is asking. That eternal universal form, you please show it to me. If you think I'm able to see, if you think I can see it, so you please show it to me. You please show your universal form to me. That's what Arjuna is asking Krishna. Krishna to show his universal form. So that way, we are going to, of course, Krishna cannot say no. That's what we are going to study from in this slokas tomorrow. Because when devotees ask anything, Krishna will never ever say no actually. So if you ask Krishna, Krishna will do. So let's wait for what Krishna is going to speak. Krishna is going to sing Hare Krishna. So we have successfully finished 4 slokas in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. I will stop now. We'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.